I never thought I'd be the kind of person who told their own mom, "No, you can't live with me." But that's exactly what I did while she was crying in the Greyhound parking lot with 2 suitcases and nowhere else to go. Now half my family says I'm too proud and think I'm better than everyone because I wouldn't let her move in after she sold her fully paid-off house for a guy she'd known less than a year. And I can't tell if I'm heartless or just finally done being the backup plan. I'm 29, living in a small 2-bedroom apartment with my fiancé, Mark, and our dog. We're not rich, but we're stable. Stable is a big deal for me because I did not grow up with that word in my vocabulary. My mom, Lisa, had me at 19. My dad dipped when I was 3. After that, it was a rotating cast of boyfriends. New guy, new uncle, new rules. I remember the sound of different men's boots near the front door like seasons changing. Some were loud and aggressive, some were quiet and weird, some were fun until they were. Mom was always in love, always sure this one was going to finally give her the life she deserved. When she was single, she'd vent to me like I was her therapist. When she was with someone, I'd disappear into my room and learn how to be very, very quiet. That's when everything started sliding off the rails. We lived in the same little house for most of my childhood. It was my grandma's house, paid off when she died and left it to my mom. It needed work, but it was ours. No landlord, no surprise moves. Sometimes I think if she hadn't inherited that house, we would have bounced around a lot more. When I was 17, one of the boyfriends moved in for a few weeks. He stayed almost a year. He never officially lived there. No lease, no rent, no bills in his name, but he controlled everything. The TV, the thermostat who was allowed over. He borrowed my car once and kept it overnight without telling me. He drank a lot, fought with my mom a lot. The walls were thin. I still know exactly what it sounds like when a beer bottle hits a wall and doesn't break. I moved out at 19 and swore I'd never move back. My mom cried, said she was proud of me, then asked if I could send her money just until I get back on my feet. By the time I was 24, that was the pattern. She gets with a guy, it starts off great, it ends badly, and there's always a financial crater in the middle. I help when I can, but I've always been more like the emergency fund than the child. So when she met Rick, I was already tired before I even knew his last name. Rick started as a Facebook friend. You know that age where your relatives get really into reposting minion memes and sharing. Good morning, God bless. Pictures? That's my mom's entire online personality. One of those posts got a comment from a guy named Rick. Bald, goatee, sunglasses in every profile pic. Truck, big American flag. Lots of memes about real women and betas. They started flirting in the comments, then moved to DMs, then to video calls. I heard about him nonstop. Rick is so different. Rick actually listens to me. Rick says he's never met a woman like me before. She kept saying his name like a teenager. The first time I met him was through a shaky FaceTime where he was in his truck. He gave me that dad voice immediately. "So you're the one your mom's always talking about," he said. "Smart kid. You help your mama out when she needs it. That's good. Family sticks together." Every alarm in my head went off. Something about the way he said, "Kid," like I was 5, and "help your mama" like it was an expectation, not appreciation. After a few months of long distance, he flew out to visit. In person, he was intense. Too loud, too friendly, too all over my mom. They couldn't keep their hands off each other in the kitchen. I tried to give them space and ended up staying later at work just to avoid being home when he came over. He'd lean back in the chair, big belly out, talking about his business. He said he flipped houses and did contracting. Every other sentence was about how much money there was to be made if you just took risks. "Your mom's sittin' on a gold mine," he told me, jerking his thumb toward her house. "This place in the right market, man, she could be living large." I felt my stomach drop because I knew where this was going. That's when everything fell apart. A few weeks later, my mom called me all jittery happy. "You are not going to believe this," she said, breathless. "Rick wants me to move in with him." I was at my desk at work, staring at my computer screen, but the words blurred out. Move in, I repeated. Yeah, he says we're wasting time being apart. His place is bigger, and the market where he lives is so good right now. He has a buddy who's a realtor. They say I could sell this house for a lot more than it's worth here. Okay, I said slowly. And what would you do with the money? She laughed like that was a silly question. Invest in us. Fix up his place, maybe help him with his business. He said we could even start looking for something together down the line. Like a fresh start, you know. My hands were cold on the keyboard. Mom, that house is paid off. I know, baby, I know. But it's old. It needs work. Rick says it's better to cash out while prices are high and put that money into something that makes more money. You mean, I said carefully, put that money into his house and his business. She got quiet for a second. We'd be a team, she said, voice tighter. You don't understand because you've never been in a relationship like this. When you love someone, you build together. I took a deep breath. Mom, I'm not trying to be rude, but you've known this guy how long? 8 months. Almost 9, she snapped. And we talk every day. I know him better than I knew some guys I lived with for years. That's not comforting. Why can't you just be happy for me? Her voice went high and wobbly. Every time something good happens, you have to poke holes in it. I could feel the argument rising like a storm. We'd had different versions of this fight since I was a kid. I'm not trying to poke holes, I said. I'm trying to make sure you're okay. If you sell the house and something goes wrong, where are you going to go? She exhaled dramatically. Oh my God, I'm not going to be homeless. Worst case, I crash with you for a few weeks. It's not that serious. My brain did that record scratch thing. Wait, I said. No, that's not an option. Excuse me, she said, instantly offended. You can't sell your house assuming you'll just move in with me if it doesn't work out, I said. My voice was shaking, but I kept it even. I have a life here. I have a small place. It's me and Mark. We don't have room for you to move in. Wow, she laughed, but there was no humor in it. Listen to you. Got your little apartment and your little job and think you're too good for your own mother. That's not what I said. That house is mine, she said. I can do whatever I want with it. I didn't ask for your permission. I know, I said. I'm just telling you my boundary. If you sell it, you are not moving in with me. I love you, but I can't be your backup plan. The silence on the phone felt heavy. Then she said, coldly, You don't have to worry about it. Rick takes care of his own. She hung up on me. That's when everything fell apart. She sold the house. It took a couple of months. But one day she texted me a picture of the sold sign with a bunch of hearts and champagne emojis. Moving in 3 weeks, she wrote, new chapter. I stared at the picture for a long time. The house looked tired and small, paint peeling, a little front step cracked. But it was ours. It was the one place that had always been there when everything else changed. And now it was gone. She got a good price. She wouldn't tell me the exact number, but she hinted enough that I could guess it was somewhere in the $200K range. She sent me pictures of suitcases, of boxes, of her on the plane. Then pictures of Rick's place. He lived in a big old house in a different state. It was one of those places that looked nice at first glance, but if you looked closer, you could see the age, the crooked porch, the sagging gutters, the patchy yard. But in her pictures, it looked like a palace. Look at this kitchen, she captioned one. We're gonna redo it. Rick says my money is going to make it magazine-worthy. That phrase sat wrong with me. My money. I'd send cautious texts like, make sure your name is on any major stuff you invest in. And please don't give him the whole amount at once. She'd respond with eye-roll emojis and things like, stop worrying. You sound like an old lady lol. We FaceTimed one night, and she gave me a tour. The place was chaos. Tools everywhere, stacks of lumber, wires hanging out of the walls. Rick yelled things from another room like, tell her we're gonna flip this place and double what we put in. And your mom's gonna be rich, kiddo. I watched her beam at him like he hung the moon. But little things slipped through, like how she'd mentioned paying for the new windows, or covering his truck payment just this month. or buying appliances because his credit is messed up from his ex. I'd say, "That's a lot, Mom." She'd say, "You wouldn't say that if it was a husband instead of a boyfriend." I'd say, "Yeah, I kinda would." She'd say, "You don't know what it's like. You and Mark split everything. Rick is more old school. He takes care of the big stuff." I almost asked, "What big stuff?" But I bit my tongue. Because every time I questioned anything, she'd throw my boundary back in my face. "I can't count on you anyway. You already told me if anything goes wrong, I'm on my own. Remember." Guilt would slam into my chest every single time. That's when everything fell apart. It lasted 8 months. 8 months of Instagram posts about my man, my new life. People will talk, but they don't see the grind. Over-filtered selfies in half-renovated rooms. Then the posts slowed down. Then they stopped. I knew something bad had happened when she texted me at 3:17 a.m. my time. "Are you awake?" My stomach clenched. I texted back in seconds. "Yeah, what's wrong?" My phone rang immediately. In the background, I heard cars whooshing by, a PA system calling out destinations, some kind of loudspeaker. Her voice was ragged. "He kicked me out," she said. Adrenaline surged through me. "What, who, Rick?" "He said," she took a shuddery breath, "he said I'm a leech, that I nag him, that the house is his, and if I don't like how things are going, I can leave." I could hear her crying, those ugly sobs that make your throat burn. For a second, all I heard was my mom, not the chaotic tornado of choices she'd made. Just my mom. "Where are you?" I asked. "Bus station," she said. "He dropped me off. He kept my phone for an hour, going through it, accusing me of cheating. I had to snatch it back." "Are you safe?" I asked. "Did he hit you?" "Not this time," she muttered, then quickly said, I'm fine, I need you." The guilt already had its hands around my throat. "Okay," I said. "Do you have money? Where are your things?" She laughed bitterly. "I have 2 suitcases, that's it. Everything else," he said, "belongs to the house. The furniture, the appliances, the stuff we bought together. He said my money was a gift. I can't prove anything. It's all cash and Venmo and Zelle. I'm so stupid." "You're not stupid," I said, even though part of me was screaming. "How did you not see this coming?" "I knew you were right," she whispered. "I just wanted it to work so bad." "Okay," I said again, brain racing. "What do you need me to do?" She didn't hesitate. "I need to come stay with you." There it was. "Just for a few weeks," she said. "Just until I figure things out. I'll get a job, I'll help with bills, I'll cook, I'll watch the dog. Please, baby, I don't have anywhere else to go. You said you love me." I closed my eyes. I saw the 2-bedroom apartment in my mind, the small office/guest room that was really just a glorified storage space. Mark's work computer. The boxes of stuff we still hadn't unpacked. The dog bed. Our tiny kitchen. The way we'd sat at the table and talked about kids someday, and how we both agreed we didn't want roommates or parents living with us long-term. We wanted our own space, our own calm. 8 months ago, we'd had a whole conversation about this exact scenario. It felt paranoid at the time. Now it felt terrifyingly real. I heard Mark stir in the bedroom and step into the hallway, rubbing his eyes. He mouthed, "Your mom," I nodded. "Can I talk to Mark?" she asked suddenly. "He's reasonable. He won't let you do this to me." That sentence snapped something in me. Do this to me. Like I was the one who'd sold a paid-off house and scattered the safety net to chase a man. I put the phone on speaker. Mark came over, sat next to me at the kitchen table in his pajama pants, and squeezed my knee. "Hey, Lisa," he said gently. "Mark," she said, immediately shifting into her charming tone. "You're a good man. I know you were raised right. Can you please talk some sense into your fiancé? I just need a place to land. You guys have 2 bedrooms. I won't be a burden, I swear." Mark looked at me, then chose his words very carefully. "Lisa," he said, "I'm really sorry you're going through this. I'm glad you're safe. But we talked about this months ago. We can't have anyone move in. We barely have space for ourselves. And the dynamic, the stress, it wouldn't be good for anyone, especially not you." Her tone went from honey to razor in one breath. So that's a no, she snapped. Got it, you're both too good for me now. That's not what he said, I jumped in. We can help you get a hotel for a bit and maybe. I don't want a damn hotel. She screamed so loud I pulled the phone away from my ear. People in the background turned to look at her. I could hear someone saying, Ma'am, please calm down. I want my daughter, she cried. I raised you alone, I sacrificed everything. And now, the second I need you, you slam the door in my face. For what? For some man? For some crappy apartment you're so proud of? My hands were shaking now. Mom, that's not fair. What's not fair is my child acting like she's too good to help her own mother. You always thought you were better than me. Ever since you went to college, it's always been, oh, I know better, I'm so smart, I don't need anyone. You're just like your father. That one landed like a punch. I swallowed hard. I'm going to help you, but not by letting you move in, I said, forcing each word out. We can put money toward a motel for a couple weeks. I can help you look for a room to rent. I can help you apply for assistance. But I can't live with you. I'm not changing that boundary. Boundary, she repeated, dripping sarcasm on the word. That's therapy talk. You let some stranger convince you it's okay to abandon your family. Mark squeezed my knee again. I said quietly, I didn't need a therapist to tell me what it felt like the last time you stayed for a few weeks. Remember, it was 9 months. 9 months of screaming fights, of me hiding in my own room, of you borrowing money you never paid back, of you digging through my mail, yelling at my neighbors, picking fights with Mark. I almost lost my relationship. I was having panic attacks in my own home. I promised myself I'd never go through that again. She was silent for a beat. So that's it, she said finally. Her voice was flat, hard. You're really going to let your own mother be homeless. I'm not letting you be homeless, I said. I'm offering to pay for a place and help you get set up. I just can't have you live with me. You're too proud, she hissed. Too proud of your little life. Too proud to let anyone see you struggle. You'd rather see me on the streets than admit you still need your mom. Lisa, Mark said, voice calm but firm, that's not true, and it's not fair. Shut up, she snapped. This is between me and my daughter, or at least I thought she was my daughter. Clearly, I was just raising a stranger. That's when everything fell apart. I ended the call after telling her I'd send money for a hotel that night and the next, and we could talk again in the morning. She said, don't bother, and hung up. I sent the money anyway. Then I went into the bathroom and threw up. Mark held my hair and rubbed my back while I cried on the floor. Did I just make her homeless? I choked out. No, he said softly. She made herself unstable a long time ago. You're not making her anything. You're just not fixing it this time. We sat there, tile cold under my legs, the bathroom fan buzzing softly overhead. My phone started blowing up. First, my aunt, my mom's sister. Aunt, what is this I hear about you refusing to help your mother? She's crying her eyes out at the bus station. Then my cousin. Cousin, yo, what's going on with your mom? She's posting some wild stuff on Facebook. I opened Facebook and there it was. A long, vague post rant about children who abandon their parents, and pride before the fall, and people change when they get a little money. Comments were full of prayers. And if you need anything, I'm here, and only a couple of there's always more to the story. I tried to explain to my aunt in a long text. The selling of the house, the moving in with Rick, the money, my boundary months ago. She wrote back, that's still your mother. House or not, man or not, you only get one mother. You'll regret this when she's gone. My stomach twisted. I called my grandma's old friend, Miss Carol, who's basically the only older adult who's ever been consistently sane. I told her everything. She listened quietly, then said, Baby, you did the right thing. Your mama's been treating you like her parachute for years. At some point, if you keep catching somebody every time they jump, they're gonna stop looking where they land. I sniffed, wiping my nose on my sleeve. But she's alone, I said, and I know she's scared. It's okay to feel sorry for her, Miss Carol said. It's not okay to destroy your own peace to fix her mess. Those are two different things. That hit me like a freight train. That night, my mom sent a string of texts. One was a picture of the motel room. Another was a message saying, "Thanks for the pity money." Then, "I hope you're proud of yourself." Finally, "Don't worry, you won't have to deal with me for much longer." That last one made my blood run cold. I tried calling, no answer. I texted, "If you are thinking of hurting yourself, I'm calling for a wellness check." She responded about 20 minutes later with, "Calm down, drama queen. I just mean I won't bother you anymore." I sat on the edge of my bed, my heart pounding so hard I could feel it in my neck. That's when everything fell apart. It's been about 6 months since that night. My mom did not end up on the street. She stayed at the motel for a couple of weeks. I helped pay for some of it. So did my aunt once she realized I wasn't refusing to help so much as refusing to be a doormat. Eventually, my mom ended up renting a room in a house with 2 other women closer to where she'd lived before. One of them is a friend of Miss Carroll. They have rules. She has to pay on time. She has chores. She can't just bring random men over. She hates it. She calls it living like a teenager. We talk, but it's strained. Every conversation is like walking through a room full of broken glass. She'll be pleasant for a few minutes, ask about my job, about Mark, about the dog. Then she'll slide in a comment like, "Well, some of us don't have the luxury of our own place," or "Must be nice to know your partner has your back." I've learned to say, "I'm not going to feel guilty for having stability," and change the subject or end the call. I started therapy again. My therapist pointed out that I've been parentified my whole life, and saying no to my mom for the first time in a serious way was always going to feel like ripping my skin off. We talked about how my mom uses words like pride and too good and abandon as weapons because she knows exactly where my buttons are. We talked about how boundaries aren't punishments, they're fences. You can love someone and still not want them to park their chaos in your living room. For a while, I stalked my mom, Facebook like a weirdo. She'd post sad quotes about betrayal, then motivational crap about leveling up, then occasionally something that made my eyes roll so hard I saw my brain. One day, though, I saw a picture that made me feel weirdly calm. It was my mom at a local diner with 2 women, laughing over pie. Her hair was pulled back. She wasn't wearing a pound of makeup. She looked tired, but real. The caption said, "Finding my tribe. Starting over in my 50s isn't what I planned, but I'm still here." No mention of me. No passive-aggressive digs. Just her having a slice of pie, existing. I stared at that picture for a long time. Mark walked by and said, "You okay?" "Yeah," I said, and I was surprised to find that I meant it. "We're okay. We're not fixed. We're not some Hallmark redemption story, but she's alive. She's housed. She's figuring it out slowly in her messy way. And I'm still in my small apartment with my fiancé and my dog. But now when I close the door at night and lock it, I feel something I didn't feel before all this. Safe, not because nothing bad can ever happen, but because I finally realized I'm allowed to protect myself. I still hear that moment in my head sometimes, her voice dripping with contempt as she said, "You're too proud." And maybe I am. Maybe I am proud that I climbed out of the chaos I was born into and built something solid. Proud that I didn't let guilt drag me back into a situation that would have destroyed my relationship and my mental health. Proud that I helped in the ways I could without handing over my entire life. Proud that, for once, I didn't set myself on fire to keep someone else warm. So yeah, my mom thinks I'm too proud because I refused to let her move in after she sold her house for her boyfriend. But for the first time in my life, that pride feels less like a sin and more like a survival skill. And I'm not sorry for that. Not anymore.